Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here, and welcome again to another statue review. And this statue, this diorama, the Superman versus Doomsday 1/10 scale diorama from Iron Studios, is the smaller version of the 1/6 scale that they produced years ago. And now in the 10th anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of this company, they're releasing a lot of 1/10 scale versions of bigger pieces. This is the first one that has come out. And there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot of good things. I'm really happy with this piece. I was always a fan of the 1/6 scale, but I never had the opportunity to have it in my collection. All right, guys, before we get into the statue, I want to point out the package, and this is for the collectors who are concerned about the space and storage. This is a huge box. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's bigger than some of the my 1/6 scale statue boxes. It's just huge. And the height is 24 inches, so that is 2 feet. The width is 20 inches and the depth is almost 13 inches. So it's a pretty substantial box. This is an Iron Studios exclusive, as we know. In one side, it says the 10-year Iron Studios anniversary. Here in the back, we have a painted image of the statue. This is just the color one. Here it has the title of Iron Studios. Top of the box, it says Superman versus Doomsday. The logs are scale 1/10. Bottom of the box, it has all the legal lettering. It says Iron Studios, the Brazilian flag. Now, this package also came with its own shipper box. I ordered this through Sideshow. They are the official retailers, the official distributors here in North America. It says number 90. It doesn't say the total number, but the total number is 750. All right, guys, I want to unassemble this piece, and I want to do this to help those who are having this for the first time, opening the box, and they're completely clueless about how to put it together. Because one thing that I'm going to point out about this that I wasn't happy about is that there's no instruction manual here. So to accomplish this, we're going to reverse engineer this piece. We're going to take the pieces out, and then I'm going to put them back together, and that way you have a better idea how to do it. The first thing, we're going to remove this portrait. This Superman portrait is really, really well done. Very well done. All right, we're going to remove the cape, which is held with a rod. Let's just remove these little pieces. This is actually, I'm not sure if this is plastic or what, but it's kind of plasticky. We're gonna remove this. This has no pegs, no anything. You just have to sit it there. We're gonna talk about it in a moment. I'll tell you how I feel about it. The next thing, I'm going to remove the body of Superman. And here, it's held with a peg on another rod, so I'm gonna remove it out of here. Now this is gonna be tricky to put it back in. I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way. We're going to remove this. This part is also, I think, I'm not sure if it's resin. It might be just plastic. It might be just resin and plastic combined. And it has a rod. Doomsday, and the things that we gotta remove here are the hands. These are held with magnets. They're pretty strong magnets, so I have no issue with them. The next one here, that's another one. Cool. Now, this is a tricky one. Be careful with this one, is the hair. You remove it, it has a tiny little peg, no magnet. We are going to remove now the body of Doomsday. Now, as you can see, and I'll tell you, this Doomsday is heavy, man. This is perhaps my favorite thing on this statue. The scale, the paint job is excellent. We're gonna look at that in a moment, but it's a really nice statue. It's heavy. I'm telling you, this is heavier than some 1/6 scale statues I have in my collection. Really nicely done. Gonna put it on the side. And finally, we have the base. There's two things, or three things that we're gonna remove here in the base. We're gonna remove this little piece. They're kind of tricky to find the spot to put them in. You're gonna struggle with this, but I'll show you where they're at. This one right here also. And then we have this little part that we're going to remove. Also, it's held with a peg. So this is the base. I'm telling you, the base is heavy. You can see the paint job in the base. At the bottom of the base, Superman Doomsday. It has the number -90 out of 750. Which is great. The only thing that I wasn't happy, it doesn't have the little pads that many statues have, and it's missing. I hate that because when you're moving this, if you don't lift it, you're gonna be rubbing this, and of course it's gonna scratch the bottom. I don't like that. All right, it is time to set up the piece. We're gonna grab, first thing, we got the big baby, and we're gonna set him right there. Make sure that you're seated perfectly. this foot has to rest here on the back, and that goes down. And because of the weight of Doomsday, it's gonna sit properly. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to add the hands. First thing, we add this one, then the next one, then pretty much Doomsday, it's done. We just have to do the hair. We can do it now. Before you sit this, grab the body of Superman, and then you insert it on that little hole right there, that peg, that rod. Make sure that sits there, because we're gonna use Superman weight in order to make sure that this sits properly. And that's the best way when you have to insert it. Just to give you an idea, we're gonna do it this way. And once you do that, you'll see that it'll be able to properly rest the hand and the face of Doomsday without a problem. I think some people were having issues trying to fit it in. So this is the way you do it. That's the best way to do it. The next thing I'm going to insert and add will be the cape. And the cape again comes with that little rod. The rod here in the back, just to give you an idea how it looks. Press down a little bit, so there's a little bit of weight. We need that weight in order to make sure that it sits right. And we're going to use now the portrait. We're going to add it and make sure everything sits perfectly. It does sit perfectly. Here, this thing, as I show you, if you find it here and this in the center, you find the little spot where you can insert this. Find the little hole. Now we need to insert this, and the way you do it here at the bottom, pretty much in line with his foot, the back of his foot, there is this little hole, and we're gonna insert this, make sure that it sits right. And this technique is gonna be holding this in the back just to give it some support. That's about it. The next thing, and in the picture, I was looking at the image that it comes in the box, which is very different even from the image that they have in the website on the promo pictures. This thing here is tricky. I was looking at that I think they have it on the promo like this, which you can do. You can technically could do this, but I see some people doing it this way. And actually I prefer this way because it doesn't intrude with the view of the leg. The next thing would be this, and in the picture, and I'm thinking that this was a mistake or problem that happened in the factory, maybe a misunderstanding in the design. This little hole right here, very clearly, that's where more than likely there was a peg to be inserted to make sure that this was standing like this. But for some reason they didn't do it. There was nothing added. So technically there's no peg for this. And the pictures don't do justice to this. So all you gotta do is sit it there. Some people were resting it. I saw in some videos against Superman. I will not do that. I think that will scratch the paint. So you pretty much insert it right here. You know, the best thing to know is that this center here with under the end sits right. It rests right here on top of this protruding thing in the middle. So that's what I do there. And just sit it right there. It's not touching the leg. It's just fine. And voila, this is how everything comes together. All right, guys, time to review this piece, and I'm going old school this time around. I am undusting my old and faithful Lazy Susan. This is how I did it back in the day. Gave me a lot of mobility. I'm gonna use this for now. Look at Superman. It looks amazing. The sculpt of this piece is great. They did a fantastic job with the sculpt. And yeah, they did some changes to the statue. They did some tweaking to the design. So that way it's easier, I guess, to fit it into the 1/10 scale without going extremely expensive. I think the price is fair. It's not cheap, but it's fair price for this nice diorama. I was expecting to be a lot more expensive. Doomsday, he is my favorite part of the whole diorama. The sculpt is so nice in him. The sculpt is nice on both. That portrait on Superman is really well done. Now, when it comes about the paint job, there's a lot of nice paint work here. The back of Doomsday, it's just fantastic. The paint job, the green in his trousers and his boots is just perfect. It really matches the one in the comic book. So close. Even that gray of that belt thing, very nicely done. That gray, that silver has a nice spray on it. There's even dust in his Boots is very nice. The cape has that shading. The Superman logo is just paint, it's drawn there. It's fine. I wouldn't say it's the best thing ever, but it serves the purpose. The one thing I'm not happy about is the way they did the soles on the boots. You can see there just have the gray. It's like it seems that they didn't paint them. They left them unpainted, trying to imitate like dust, I guess. To me, it's like it really looks cheap and tacky and unfinished. That is my only complaint I have when it comes about the paint job. Now his trousers are well done. The red there is nicely done. Now the yellow in his, you might see, if you get see up close, the lines are not perfectly aligned. Just if you get really close, but it's just hardly noticeable. The S on his chest is well painted. And again, that face is the face only a mother can love. That looks, that looks really cool. It is a cool statue. The more I see it, the more I think I'm falling in love with it. I was a bit disappointed at first. I wish it was higher, maybe have like some riser. You're definitely gonna need to have a riser to make it look better. Now, when you're looking at the base, the paint job is excellent there. It's simplistic, but well done, well applied. There, of course, this is the scene of a battle, so there's damage, there's dust, there's dirt. Yeah, there are reasons to complain, but those reasons are so small, and it's more like nitpicking on the side of the engineering, how to put things together. But beyond that, the piece is amazing. All right, guys, it is comparison time, and the first one here is this comparison with this Iron Studios 1/10 scale statue of Clark Kent. I haven't reviewed this one. I need to review it at some point. I have a lot of statues that I haven't reviewed that I need to get to it just for record keeping and just for people who are still looking for reviews. But yeah, this is a fantastic representation of Superman side by side. It is a heavy, I'm telling you, it's a heavy statue, but it's so low. I wish it was higher or there was a riser. It would make it stand out even more. Now, this is the comparison I wanted to make so bad. From the moment this diorama was announced from Iron Studios, I was thinking in my head, how is it going to compare? How is it going to look side by side right next to the Superman versus Darkseid by DC Direct by DC Collectibles? It looks really nice. They both look great, of course. The quality and the paint job of the Iron Studios is a lot better, but you're comparing a piece that came out many years ago. This is not the first version. Now talking about the DC Direct diorama, this is the second version. This is the unnumbered version. There were like 4 different versions. This is the second edition. So there are minor differences, but it's the same sculpt. But yeah, it looks great. They both look great side by side. All right, guys, what can I say? Now coming to the end of the video, this is a fantastic looking diorama. It is heavy. This is heavy. When I was comparing it right next to the DC Direct diorama, that is a lot lighter. I think probably half the weight of this one. This one is heavy, and that really adds a little bit of sense of quality to the piece in one way. Most of that weight comes from Doomsday. The sculpt on Doomsday is fascinating. I think they did a fantastic job representing the character. There's been many different Doomsdays over the years. Some are better than others in my opinion, but I think this one captures the spirit of the 90s with Doomsday. It looks like the 90s Doomsday, and to me that's really nice. They did a fantastic job with it. The paint job again is excellent. The sculpt is excellent on both. There's again minor nitpicks with the design and the sculpt, all of that, but those are things that ultimately once it's on display, if you have, I would say, a rotating base like this one, it really shines because you can see all the little things and crevices and minor details that they're trying to create with the piece, and in my opinion looks fantastic. Now looking forward to the next one, which is Juggernaut versus Wolverine, and that is another one, and it's also another mini version that has been changed and adapted. Definitely there are sacrifices that have to be made when you are reducing the size. There's some details that is lost. There's some textures that need to be removed. But what is your opinion, my friends? What do you think about this statue? Do you like it? You don't like it? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are in the description. And please consider supporting the channel financially through Patreon. My friends, God bless you. Take care. I will talk to you again. Bye-bye.